Hey, TKA. Today is Thursday, January 28th, 2016. I'm Julian Shaw.
And I'm Ali Gishi.
Well, Ali, it looks like we have several big events coming up soon, the first being Winterlude.
That's right. Juniors and seniors have Winterlude this weekend. The theme is Night on the Bay. The event is this Saturday and boarding begins at 5:45. Students will meet at Pier 3 Landing.
And that is definitely something you want to make sure you are on time for.
Very true. The boat will leave without those that don't make it by 6 p.m. The cost is $85, so don't miss out. Get your tickets today during brunch or lunch.
Another big event happening in a couple of weeks is Spirit Week. Student Council will be revealing the dress days tomorrow during a home group through special Friday morning broadcast.
I can't wait to start planning my costumes.
Me neither. But dressing up isn't the only thing we have to worry about. Several classes are working and coming up with their class dances.
Yes. So, freshmen, be sure to stop by Mrs. Davis's office to see your practice schedule. Also, don't forget to bring $10 so you can receive your shirt for Color Day. They will be distributed during brunch and lunch the Thursday and Friday before Spirit Week.
Now, before we move on to some very important sports announcements, let's check in with Sienna Corpus to see what stories are making headlines around the world.
What do you have for us today, Sienna?
Well, Julian, it's funny that you mentioned sports because our first story takes place at a Florida swim meet. This week, spectators at the St. Petersburg Aquatic Center captured a brown pelican trying to enjoy the water during a pretty intense swim meet. The video posted by a fan shows just now at home the massive bird fell in the pool amongst the swimmers. According to reports, it's believed that the bird was taking advantage of the heated pool to escape the cold 50-degree temperatures. Several swimmers from that race were asked about the incident, and all they had to say were that they were too focused to even notice the bird jumping from lane to lane. Our second story, have you ever had any overdue library books? Well, you've got nothing on this guy. A UPS package delivered to Henrik District Library contained the book that had been checked out of the library since 1967. The package also included a note that explained the sender was a student at Hope College at the time and was possibly researching World War II when they forgot to return the book. Somewhere along the way, it got mixed up with my personal things and put into a trunk and shipped back to New York, the unidentified man wrote. I have moved the trunk many times, but until recently never opened it. Upon so, I found your book. The man also included an undisclosed amount of money to make up for the overdue book fees he would have accumulated throughout the years. Please accept the book and my modest donation to cover what I'm sure is a tremendous fine, he wrote. Henrik District Library Director Diane Cookier decided to disclose the man's identity nor the amount of money he sent to express her gratitude for the gesture. It more than covered the cost of the book, she told Michigan Live. We enjoyed the trip down memory lane and realized that there are good, honest people who have inadvertently misplaced a book. Our final story comes from Bassingbourn, England, where an unexpected flight delay made for an interesting surprise. Get this, a British dad made an unscheduled hot air balloon landing at his daughter's school. According to reports, Adrian Brown was flying his hot air balloon with a single-person seat when he realized, based on unforeseen winds, he would have to land off course. The only safe clearing available for him to land without hitting pedestrians, sheep, or buildings was right outside the primary school his daughter attended. The head teacher of the primary school said that the event made all the students' days. Wow, what a cool story. And that's all the weird and wacky news I have for you. Back to you, Allie and Julian.
Thanks, Sienna.
High school students, spring sports are starting next week. Stop by the athletic office to pick up your clearance slip before you head out to participate. You will only be issued a clearance slip if you have finished the clearance process. Please take a look at the following practice times on Monday, February 1st.
And we don't want to forget about our amazing junior high athletes. If you are a junior high student interested in playing boys baseball, boys and girls volleyball, boys and girls track, boys and girls tennis, or boys and girls golf, please go to the athletics webpage and click on the sports sign-up link. Sign-ups are open now and until February 8th.
High school students, are you interested in using our wonderful weight room? If so, you must first attend a basic weight room introduction meeting. These meetings will be held the first Monday of every month at 3:30 sharp. If you miss this, please do not come in until the next month. Uninformed students using the equipment becomes a safety hazard.
Sounds like if you're interested, you should plan on attending the meeting this coming Monday if you want to get access to the weight room as soon as possible. And now it looks like we have some fun trivia for you and your home group to discuss in a new segment with Aisha Maheshwari called Today in History. Take it away, Aisha.
Good morning, TKA. I am here to test your history knowledge with a few trivia questions about the significance of today's date, January 28th, in the new segment called Today in History. On this day, in 1959, which coach was hired as the Green Bay Packers head coach? A. Bill Parcells, B. Lou Holtz, C. Tom Landry, D. Vince Lombardi. If you answered Vince Lombardi, you are correct. Lombardi was signed to a 5-year contract as the team's coach and general manager. He would go on to win 2 Super Bowl championships. All right, let's see how you do on question number 2. On this day in 1986, which American disaster took place? A. The Loma Prieta earthquake, B. Challenger explosion, C. South Pacific Railroad crash, D. Iran-Contra affair. The correct answer is the Challenger explosion. Today is the 30th anniversary of the Challenger explosion. NASA is holding a special remembrance event at Arlington National Cemetery, as well as the Kennedy Space Center. All right, and the last question. On this day in 1912, which famous American painter was born in Wyoming? A. Jackson Pollock, B. Andy Warhol, C. Bob Ross, and D. George Bellows. The correct answer is Jackson Pollock. The painter, whose work is characterized by drips or paint splatters, created a piece that was auctioned off for $140 million. That's all I have for you today. Back to you, Allie and Julian.
Thanks, Aisha.
All high school football players, you have an important meeting at lunch tomorrow in the team room. Be sure to attend.
If you like to bake, you might want to check out the contest being held by the French Club to celebrate Epiphany. Items are due before school tomorrow. There will be a tasting panel during the French Club meeting tomorrow to determine the winners.
CSF and CJSF members, this is the last week to turn in your application for CSF and CJSF. Don't forget, applications will not be accepted if they are turned in any later than February 1st, 2016. Ask in the SAO for details. Well, that concludes this episode of the Nightly News. But before we go, let's see which home group will be participating in Tuesday's episode of the Nightly News.
Ooh, and it looks like it's Mr. Mrs. Kellner's class. Home group has been selected. We look forward to seeing you in the studio, and hopefully you'll come up with some better answers than our last home group.
Besides a candy, name something that might be covered in chocolate.
Your grandmother.
Name a fluffy dog. Thanks for watching. I'm Allie Gishi.
And I'm Julian Shaw. See you next week.